But I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football fixing their truck.
How's everybody doing? My name is Anthony Brian Logan, and today we got to talk about Tampon Tim Walz, the current governor of Minnesota, the former VP pick of former Vice President Kamala Harris, coming out and saying that he was selected to be part of Kamala's team because he was able to code talk to the white guys about playing football and working on the truck and all this, that, and the third. Masculine things, dude bro things. Now, this is totally hilarious because I called this last year. I know now, and I knew then, that they picked him for those reasons. But I also know now, as I knew then, that this guy is an obvious fairy, a dancing queen. So flamboyant, if he's not gay, I'd be surprised. If he's not gay, I can't tell. He has all the telltale signs of a gay man. And if that's his reality, then that's not really a big deal. Whatever. Do what you want to do. You're an adult. That's your business. Live your life. I'm not a homophobic person. What I am saying is that you can't put a gay dude, obviously gay dude, in a role where he's to be believed as a masculine man. It doesn't make any sense. Now, before I get into the video that he put out about this, let's go back a little bit. Now, this was an unreleased ad, okay? And when we watch it, you're going to be able to see why it was unreleased. But this right here has the spirit of why they picked him in the first place. Let's watch this from back during the campaign 2024. Then we're going to get to the new clip. And of course, this clip and the other will be in the description if you want to see it and hear it without my commentary. If you're on IG, Facebook, etc., visit the link in the bio, go to the corresponding article on the website. But without further ado, let's go ahead and roll it.
I love sinking into the couch, cold beer in my mouth, rooting for the Twins and Tim. And I love sharing all my tools, playing by the rules, keeping those edges trim. And Tim, I love leaving my white notes, making a plan to vote, helping Kamala win. And Tim, we love you, Tim. Woo! Go get him, coach.
Go get him, coach. Okay, go get him, coach. Leaving my wife notes. I'm not sharing my tools with you. Hey, if you take my drill and don't give it back, consider yourself dead to me. That's how I feel about that. But this ad was so cringe. They might as well have put it out. But maybe I think at a certain point they were getting the message that guys were not feeling this whole white guy whisperer, football coach. They weren't really getting that message. They weren't really sinking in. So they just put it on the shelf and went in a different direction. Now let's get to the newer clip here in which he exposes what the plan was. Like we didn't really know. We knew from the beginning what the plan was, Tampon Tim. All right, let's watch this.
I'm a team player. I'm with it. And there's folks that I recognize are smarter than me. They analyze this. You put your input in. Running a campaign that had never been run before, 100 days, in the situation we were at, running against a very unusual opponent on the other side. Mm-hmm. And look,
let's pause for a second. So Trump is unusual. That's not a bad thing. I'll agree with you right there, Tampon Tim. Trump is unusual. Now, y'all think unusual is a bad thing, but it's not, because you guys, Tampon Tim, Kamala, you guys are the usual suspects, and we don't want you anymore, which is why Trump won. Really 3 times, in my humble opinion, but definitely twice.
Job was to do. Look, I knew I was on the ticket. I would argue because we did a lot of amazing progressive things in Minnesota to improve people's lives, but I also was on the ticket, quite honestly, because I could code talk to white guys watching football fixing their truck, doing that I could put them at ease. I was the permission structure to say, look, you can do this and vote for this. And you look across those swing states, with the exception of Minnesota, we didn't get enough of those votes.
But you could be giving them permission.
Now let's pause for a minute. Okay, so to the white guys out there, do you think Tampon Tim was able to quote unquote code talk to y'all? And what does that really mean? I feel like men, regardless of whether you black, white, Puerto Rican, and Canadian stripe, if you're a real man and you're a real masculine man, we don't do the code talk. Let's talk direct. Say what you mean and mean what you say. I think that's going to be the truth for most of us, but let's continue.
On TV every day. You could have been messaging that way, and that isn't necessarily how it shook out.
Well, yes, but I also said I understand myself. I said I think I'll give you pretty good stuff, but I'll also give you 10% problematic. And so somebody's got to make the decision here to handle some of this stuff and to make it. And those are just decisions that were made. And I think after the fact, it is not second guessing or anything. I think it's fair to go back on and look at this. Look, we had the most qualified person who'd run for president in this country's history at the top of the ticket. That in itself should have got this thing won. We had, in my opinion, and you can disagree with me, I think history will prove me right, a very unqualified person on the other side. And you have to determine, how do you get those hits? What was the best way? Did it make sense to continue to, call him weird or call that out, or make this pitch that we are significantly different and our policies can improve your life?
Let's pause for a second. Now, the problem is that we have had we just had 4 years of y'all, and we didn't like it. The American people said, you know what? I'm not really a fan of this administration. I think we want to go a different direction. And that's what happened. So you couldn't have really done anything. It was going to go the other direction anyway. Oh, you know what? You could have done one thing better, had better candidates. Kamala was the presidential nominee, and she was struggling to put two words together. She was just as bad as Joe Biden, who had a low approval rating. So you needed to have better people, better policies. You needed to be better to succeed.
And there's people that make those decisions, and whether it's right or wrong or not, I guess history will make that. I'm a team.
All right, so there we go. That's Tampon Tim talking about, well, I was selected because I'm going to be able to co-talk to the white guys about football, working on their truck, and all that other kind of stuff, all other the dude bro stuff. Clearly, it didn't work. And like I was saying before, your track record precedes you. Look at what you did in Minnesota. Speaking about Minnesota, your name is Tampon Tim Walz because you allowed tampons to go into the boys' bathroom in high school. See, stuff like that we're not really fans of. If you're gay, Tim Walz, hey, man, that's fine. I don't really care about that. I'm not an anti-gay person. Specifically, like if a random guy just happens to be gay, that's his business. It's not my business. The problem comes when you try to make others be part of your lifestyle who don't want to be part of your lifestyle. When you're trying to influence children to be part of your lifestyle, now you're recruiting. I don't like that. Live your life, do your thing, but don't indoctrinate others, especially not children, and don't force these things on to the general public. Just don't do it. So that is what a lot of y'all do. The whole tampons in the boys' bathroom, that's part of it. The Democratic Party in general have embraced a lot of your far left stuff. That's why people didn't want to vote for you. It didn't matter if you could talk to the white guys or not. It wasn't going to work. And again, trying to put him out there for that purpose, to be some kind of dude bro football coach, shows just how out of touch the Democratic Party is. They don't know the American people. They don't understand us. They think they could just do certain things and it'll work, and it'll just get us on board with their plan, with what they're trying to do with their New World Order whole thing. It just ain't working. It's not. But as I close, I want to say this. Shout out to Tampon Tim. Bro, you thought you could be the white guy whisperer. You thought that people actually were believing this whole shtick about being the football coach. Bro, hold on. I think I got one picture right here. See this picture right here? It kind of sums it up. Okay, that right there sums it up. That's what you did out there on the campaign trail. All right, now I never seen no football coach twirling and whirling like this, kicking his leg up, rah-rah, sis, boom, bye. Nobody does that, man. Nobody does that. People, real people in this world, not DC, mainstays, been there their whole life, career politicians. We're talking about regular, everyday people. We can see you. We see what's going on. It's pretty clear. Even if you don't have a lot of education, you're not super big brain or whatever, it doesn't take much to see what a person is when you look at them. It's easy. Democratic Party thinks so little of us as the American people, they thought they could put that guy out there and we believe it. Pretty insulting if you ask me, but I think I'll leave that right there for now. And what say you? What's your opinion about Tampon Tim Walz and what he said about, oh, well, I was picked to be the white guy whisperer. Did you believe his act? Did you not believe his act? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments below. You guys know where I'm at. They got to try harder than that. And the problem is with the Democratic Party, they don't have anybody. Who's a masculine force on that side at all? What, John Fetterman, a guy with a brain injury? Who you talking about? Maybe the mayor of New York City, Eric Adams, who is now independent and not Democrat anymore. I said it once and I'm going to say it again. The most masculine force in the Democratic Party right now is Big Mike, Michelle Obama. Yes, I did say that. Don't get offended. I know she's not a man. I'm going to call her Big Mike anyway. She's the most masculine force on the Democratic side. And she doesn't want to run. She wants to do podcast stuff like this. So you don't have anybody. You got to just get back down to the basics, recruit better people, have a better message, get better policies, just do better. Until then, you're going to be in this exact same situation, in my humble opinion. But whatever your thoughts are, please let me know in the comments below. And that's all I got to say for this video. If you like what you heard, please comment, rate, share, and subscribe. Peace.